What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and I'll be breaking down Jared Cannonier versus Kelvin Gastelum. A really good fight right here. Yeah, I think Jared was supposed to fight Paulo, but instead KG, like the goddamn killer that he is, he takes a fight on short notice. But actually, he's had a bit of a camp, so it wasn't really too much of a short notice fight. It was more like yeah, I'll slide in here. Paulo, he had to do his thing, had to go take care of business in Brazil. I ain't gonna talk too much about it, cause you know, it is what it is with Paulo. I'm gonna leave that dude alone for a little bit. I ain't gonna talk mess about him, cause y'all be killing Paulo. I'm like, God damn, man, like, hey, come on, man, leave the guy alone, let the guy live, you know. But it is what it is. But yeah, man, really good fight. At least, yeah, top 10 middleweights, and I think Jared's top 5. So I think this is gonna be a good scrap. Yeah, no matter what, I don't think this is gonna be a bad scrap at all. I think it's gonna be really interesting. If I look at the rankings, though, if I go to the UFC rankings, let me look. Yeah, Jared Cannonier number 3 and KG number 9, which is interesting. Jared is number 3. Is that high up? Yeah, interesting. I'll say the least. But if we look at the stats though, Jared comes in with a record of 13-5. Is fighting out of Arizona, age 37, which is crazy. He doesn't look anywhere near 37. Height 5'11", and reaches 75.5, which will be a big factor in this fight. KG, 17-7. Is fighting at a Cali, near Kings MMA. I drew a blank for a second. Age 29, a height of 5'9", and reaches 71.5. So yeah, really big reach disparity, 6 inches. But Jared, Jared. I wish Jared would use his length a lot better than he does. I don't know what's going on with the cat, but I feel like he has better, calf kicks than actual straight punches. It got really exposed to me in the Robert Whitaker fight. But you could say the same thing about KG. Both guys are coming off losses right now, so they need a win. Both guys coming off losses to the same guy, which is really interesting. But yeah, both guys let me down big time. I actually picked both of them to beat Robert. KG let me down a lot more. When Robert beat Jared, I wasn't too mad about it. I was like, all right, it is what it is. But KG, I felt like I thought KG was better than him for a long time. I'm still very suspicious of what happened that day at UFC 234. And maybe I said some things on Twitter that I'm not proud of, but it is it is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna delete them. But yeah, I was very suspicious of what happened that day, and ever since that day, I've always had a conception that I think KG would have won that fight that day. But Robert proved me wrong, and Robert was a better man that day, and I don't take nothing away from him. I give him his respect, and he dominated KG. He did a lot of good things in there. He showed a lot of tools, that a lot of people can replicate in the striking, and it's been a big problem for KG. It's you can see it through his last 5 fights. He's been dealing with guys using just simple footwork, and I think that's where KG really has to work on is his footwork. He's using simple footwork, simple angle switches anytime their back is against the cage, right? And cage is loading up for that, double jab cross. Either they slip and switch another angle, or pivot. They'll do a lot of those things and they'll get out the way. Now KG has unbelievable power though. He does crack. I don't care who you are. He will hurt. If he touches you, he will hurt you. But Robert kind of proved it. If you use your jab and use your footwork and use your movement, you can kind of get away from him. Darren Till proved it. The only guy that had a hard time with him was Adesanya, and in my humble, I don't really like the guy, but Adesanya fans, I'm not gonna say it. Adesanya fans would say he is Titty Boy has better footwork. I'm sorry, I mispronounced his name. I was calling him Ades. I meant Titty Boy. Sorry for the disrespect, Titty Boy. I didn't mean to mispronounce your name like that. But Titty Boy fans would say, he got better footwork than Robert and Darren Till, but he had the most problems with KG. So it's interesting. That the guy that's supposed to have better footwork than these other two is having problems with KG, but it is what it is. But yeah, those guys kind of gave him problems, and then Jack Hermanson, I kind of don't even really look at that as a real loss. I felt like KG just slipped up. Like, it wasn't like, I don't think Jack really proved that he was the better fighter, if you know what I'm saying. I felt like KG just did something really, really stupid. He went for the hip toss. I think it was either hip toss or it's like a over under, like, body lock, and then he threw him. But yeah, like, he threw him, and then he basically played the jiu-jitsu guy's game, and he got heel hooked. I mean, I watched that fight, and I was just like, I was so disappointed. It was like, dude, like, just MMA IQ. That's all it comes down. It's just IQ, homie. Like, some of these guys, like Till, I thought Till, he straight up, I give him his credit. He beat him. He used his distance, he uses 1-2. He actually showed some decent boxing in there, because he's more primarily a Muay Thai fighter. So I was actually somewhat surprised. But he fought a really good, game plan and stuff like that. And, yeah, he used a lot of distance. And he just was really good at switching angles. Like, now Robert, he used a lot of footwork. Like, he was, like, basically dancing around the octagon. But Till kind of stayed in the pocket with him. Not stayed in the pocket, but he didn't move as much as Robert. That's what I mean. And he was a lot more stationary. And it was interesting how he was able to, every time he threw the 1-2, and he'd almost like basically face palm and then pivot out the way and just just get out of there. And he was really, really good at this. His takedown defense looked good that fight. And yeah, KG had a lot of problems, but it is what it is. And then against Adesanya, like, I can talk so much about this fight, but I've talked about it so much, and you guys have probably seen the fight like 1,000 times, but we all know what KG did. He hurt him a few times. He was able to take him down. But yeah, in the 5th round, he kind of gassed out. He made a really dumb mistake in the 4th for going for a takedown instead of just hurting him. And it is what it is. If KG just would have took care of business, we wouldn't have to deal with this motherfucker. Man, that's my only problem with Kelvin, man. I like Kelvin's my boy. He's done. I like him to death, right? And he'd do some dumb things, but I mean, KG. But man, he's beating Jacare Souza. At the time that was a really big win. He dropped him. It was just, some people thought Jacare got robbed in that fight. I don't feel that way. He got hurt really badly, and he put a lot of good pressure on him, but I thought Kelvin won that fight. And then he knocked out Bisping, probably one of his better wins. He does have a loss to Chris Weidman in the 3rd round, but that was like, he kind of just got submitted. He almost killed Weidman. Like, people forget that. Like, he almost died. He has that no contest to Vitor Belfort, but he killed him because I guess he was smoking some weed. And then he knocked out Tim Kennedy. So some of the guys I brought up that he beat, they have, besides, I guess, Ian Heinisch, right? Ian Heinisch was a victory he had pretty recently. He used his wrestling. Heinisch is coming off a loss to Nasruddin Imaev. I don't know what happened to Ian Heinisch. I don't know. He's made a lot of moves in camps. He moved to Stanford MMA. I thought that was the right decision. And I don't know. I don't know what to say. Nasruddin's a good fighter. I know that. He never looked that good before the Heinisch fight. I will admit that. But he hurt Phil Hawes. It was not a good performance by Heinisch. And KG took him to a decision, but KG dominated him though. Like, it wasn't like there was one bit of success from Heinisch in I guess the first minute of their fight. But I mean, KG really, he did whatever he wanted to him, and it was crazy because KG is more of like, I think, a high school wrestler. I don't know if he wrestled in community college if I search it up, but I think Heinisch is like, he has real legit wrestling accolades. Like, I mean, legit, like Fargo champ. Like, he's a legit wrestler. I think KG's only a high school wrestler. If I'm high school wrestling credential, I don't think he wrestled. He might have wrestled in. Oh no, he does. Okay. He wrestled in JUCO. Okay, all right, my bad. But yeah, he's a community college wrestler. And Heinisch is like, I mean, at least D2, right? But I'll look it up later. But let me go back to the fight. But yeah, it happened, and it is what it is. But one of the biggest things that you can really if you look at a lot of KG's wins in the middleweight division, a lot of them are old, and I'm sorry, and no disrespect to Jared Cannonier. Cannonier falls in that category, and that's something that KG's gonna have to exploit. Age is a real thing, and I ain't gonna lie, I saw Cannonier's age in his Robert Whittaker fight, and that's what I saw, man. He has some really good wins, and he's fought really good competition. He fought Jan Blachowicz, Dominic Reyes, got knocked out by Dominic. That ain't a good look. But I guess it depends on how you look at Dominic. Like, I don't hate the kid. Like, I used to really hate Dominic, but I've kind of like, I've lessened on him. I enjoyed what Jan Blachowicz did, but I felt really bad for him when he fought Yuri. So yeah, I don't hate him as much. I kind of pity him at this point, but it is what it is. But yeah, beat David Branch. David Branch has a win over what's his face? Forgot the guy's name. Oh my god, how did I forget his name? Thiago Santos. Yeah, he knocked out Thiago Santos. Beat Anderson Silva, whatever that means, and best win, knocked out Jack Hermanson in the second round. Besides that, he does have that win over Ian Cutelaba, and he did fight Glover Teixeira. So, he's basically lost to, in terms of in the light heavyweight division, he lost to the guys that are in the title mix, or was in the title mix if we're just talking about Dominic. But yeah, like Glover and Jan are finna fight for the belt. So no shame in those losses. And then he has that loss to Robert Whittaker. And I mean, the Whittaker loss, I thought he did good in the first round, but that was his moment to get a title shot, and it kind of just blew him by. KG's already kind of been there. He fought for a gold, and he was in the top 5, and he's still a young guy. He's 29 years old. Cannonier's 37, but he's young in MMA. He hasn't been doing it for a very long time, so I'll give him that. He started a little late. Doesn't have like a legit background. Like, he's not like a former wrestler or former boxer or former like Muay Thai practitioner or kickboxer or some shit like that. He's I think he started in the military and then got into MMA that way. I think that's how it was for him. But former heavyweight, former light heavyweight, now middleweight. So he does have the size advantage. He has the reach advantage. So he has a lot of things in there. Like, he has legit power, and he might be the first guy to knock out Kelvin. So there's a lot of fear in that. And if he can use his reach the right way, and if he can analyze the Darren Till and the Robert Whittaker performances, but like, he can't, like, he doesn't have their footwork, he doesn't have their ability to pivot and switch angles, but he can learn a lot from those and use that kind of tape to his own victory. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can look at the fact that, Kelvin, he struggles with guys that with longer reaches. He struggles with the jab, right? He does. He kind of runs into that. Maybe if I throw 2 jabs and get my head out of the center line and then throw 2, maybe I can knock him out. Stuff like that, right? He can learn from it. I don't think he can replicate what Whittaker and Darren Till did, but he can put his own spin to it. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of ways for Cannonier to win in the striking. I don't think he can win in the grappling. Obviously, yeah, the calf kicks too. Almost forgot about that. That's like Cannonier's like thing. Those can lead. He beats up the legs in the first, and those open up the head and body shots in the second and third. But that's pretty much it for Cannonier and Kelvin. And that's who I'm gonna be going with. I think Kelvin can really win this fight in a lot of areas. I think Kelvin has the better boxing. He has the faster hands. But I've been noticing Kelvin's hands haven't looked as good since the Adesanya fight. But he's, in my humble opinion, I think he got really, really quick hands. It's a former welterweight, so he has a different level of speed that Cannonier is gonna have to be dealing with. And yeah, I think Cannonier really only has a 1-2. He hasn't shown. He has a decent uppercut, but I don't know, man. What I saw from Cannonier against Whittaker, man, I saw he broke his forearm though. So I might have to give him a break for that. But man, it really does seem like he doesn't have a lot of tools in the in the boxing department. And if there's anything I could give that guy some advice, maybe go. Like, his Muay Thai guy in the MMA lab it's really good, and nothing against Muay Thai. Some guys they don't even really need a boxing coach if they have a really good Muay Thai coach. Like Dewey Cooper, he's like, you don't really, he can do both for you, right? So sometimes it doesn't matter, but some guys it's harder. I don't know, it's weird. But some guys, they need separate coaches to kind of just to make their game better, and I think he would he would get a lot of good things working with like a lot of like decent boxing coaches. You know what I'm saying? And Arizona's not a bad spot for boxing. But yeah, like I said, I mean, a lot of things, a lot of slip counters, a lot of rolling and weaving for KG. I think he can exploit a lot of things in there, in the striking department, just especially the boxing department. One of the things that KG also has to work on and worry about is he has to check kicks. I mean, Robert had a lot of success with not only checking KG's kicks, but kicking his kicks. So that's something that Kelvin's going to have to worry about. But I think Kelvin's going to improve on that. And, working with Rafael Cordero, I think he's an amazing coach. MMA, I think MMA Kings, or just Kings in general, they've done a lot of good things in the MMA world. So, honestly, I think Kelvin, he can expose Jared in the boxing. And also, I think Kelvin can expose Jared in the wrestling, man. I think Jared, I mean, he got lucky with David Branch, and he got lucky with Hermanson. Those guys kind of tired out. KG does get tired, but, like, it's more like in the 5th and the 4th. Those guys got tired in the 2nd. I don't think KG's going to get tired from wrestling him in the 2nd round. And we saw that Kelvin can wrestle for 15 straight minutes. The only problem is Kelvin gets caught in these weird submissions. But, I mean, Jared doesn't have that. He doesn't have an extensive submission game. And, he hasn't shown that in his repertoire, shown that as a weapon. So, I think if things get dicey on the feet for Kelvin and he can't really deal with the reach advantage, at the end of the day, I think he will shoot, and I think he'll be successful. I think Kelvin, honestly, man, I don't know if Kelvin can finish him. So it's a weird situation. His last decision win was against Ian Heinisch. He's basically knocked out a bunch of his opponents. I'm gonna say 4th round. I'm gonna say 4th round TKO. Jared's never been there, so I'm gonna take KG by 4th round TKO. I think just KG's been to the 4th round a lot, and Jared doesn't even know what that looks like. So I'm gonna take KG by 4th round TKO. Maybe ground and pound or maybe a knockdown, something like that. But I think Kelvin's. I'm gonna ride with my boy Kelvin. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's your boy eBay. I'm out of here. Good card though. I hope you guys do watch it. But it is what it is. Love y'all. And goodbye. Oh, yeah, and don't forget to follow me on my Twitter. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram. Subscribe, comment, like, do all that. Go click the notification button and go click all my notifications. Some people saying they're not getting my notifications, so go fix that. Love y'all and goodbye.
To be at your age and accomplishing all this already, is that even make it even more special?
Yeah, man. I've been fighting for 2 years. Not even 2 years pretty much. I'm already here fighting the UFC, making my dreams come true, and I think that's a great accomplishment. At this young age, I think I have a huge and